Good afternoon, everybody. Not a video from the picnic table, but still a super important video. So I'm busy today, so I figured let's do this from the lanai, right? I want to talk about one thing, really one thing. If you're a real estate professional, you better listen, because you guys know I teach real estate all over the state of Florida, which is super cool. I'm a real estate geek, right? Here's the deal. I've had 2 or 3 classes of realtors now that were thick. I'm talking about 40 plus people in the class, and I mentioned House Bill 607. I might get 2 or 3 hands go up in the air. 2 or 3, that's it. And for us in the real estate world, this is critically important, because House Bill 607 has already passed 2 committees and it's only got 1 left. Let me read it to you, and we'll break it down into its pieces to make sure you kind of get this. I'm going to take this straight off the black and white. Industry and professional activities. House Bill 607 abolishes the Florida Real Estate Commission. Yeah, I gave you that look. Abolishes FREC. We call it FREC in the real estate world. Picture this. You just became the mayor of your own city. You're super ecstatic, and the governor comes down and says, outstanding, congratulations, you're going to do a great job. By the way, we're taking away your police force, and you're not going to have any sheriff deputies either. In doing away with the Florida Real Estate Commission, you are doing away with our regulation. You're doing away with the people that try and help keep the real estate world safe and sound. That's crazy. That's crazy. We already have agents that run around like feral cats, and you're just going to do away with the people that say you were wrong. This is why you're wrong, and this is how we're going to punish you, and we're going to require you to do additional education. And no, they can't go away, folks. Now, you may have your own opinion of that. It is what it is. Put your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear them, right? Let's go on to the next piece of that, right? Repeals, next page, repeals post-licensing education requirements. You get your real estate license and you know, okay, got my license. No requirement for any post-licensing education. That's a little terrifying, because right now in the state of Florida, you have to complete a 63-hour course that gets your real estate license. Once you pass your state exam, then you have a 45-hour post-licensing course. Brokers have a longer course than that. They're talking about doing away with that. That gives you some basic real estate knowledge to help you get started into real estate. And we're going to do away with that. That's crazy. No. So who's going to teach the agents? Who's going to get them started? Brokerages? I know brokers that don't know how to spell real estate. Yeah, they exist, right? Moving on. Does away with continuing education requirements. Look, your first renewal cycle in Florida, you have to do your 45-hour post-licensing. Your first renewal cycle is usually 18 to 24 months long. That's your first one. After that, it's every 2 years. Within that 2-year period, you have to get a whopping 14 hours done. And there's all kinds of places where you can get all 14 hours done in 2 days. Right? That leaves you 365 times 2 minus whatever. You don't have to do anymore. There are requirements. You have to have core law. You have to have ethics. Right? You have to have fair housing. The rest you can fill in with whatever you want. It's 14 hours. Without that, you take away continuing education. Do you want a contractor building your home that's not required to do any continuing education? Do you want a doctor working on you that's not required any kind of, a nurse, a lawyer? Would you be okay with them helping you with no required continuing education? They're not up to speed on what the newest, latest, greatest is. You're okay with that? That's crazy. Crazy. Let's move on. Right? Moves the division of real estate from Orlando to Tallahassee. Why? Or you just want to get everybody together in the same office, or what? Just leave them where they're at. Right? It doesn't matter where they're at. That's trivial. Right? Requires DBPR, that's the Department of Business and Professional Regulation in Florida, DBPR, right? They take care of almost all of the licensures for the state of Florida, right? Requires DBPR to email licensees and post information on their website every year summarizing new laws related to each profession. So you got an agent, brand new, no post-licensing requirement, no continuing education requirement, and DBPR has to put on their website at least once a year, the changes that have taken place in the real estate world or in the licensing communities. And your agent's going to remember to go to that. Your agent's going to remember to actually read that, because there's multiple pages here of House bills and Senate bills that are going on, and if you're not in tune, if you're not staying up to speed with this stuff, you're not going to know it. And you're going to work with an agent that might have missed that email or didn't know or forgot to go to DBPR to get the most current information, and nobody's going to explain it to them. They're just expected to understand it. This is crazy, folks. If you know anybody in the real estate world, share this video. If you know anybody, if you have a congressman, a senator, a representative that you know that you can reach out to, tell them, please crush this. It's made it through 2 committees. It has 1 more committee to go through, and they're talking about revising the language. I pray they do. I pray they do, because I am a real estate professional, and this kind of stuff I care about this. So give me your thoughts, give me your comments. I found one person that was completely cool with all of it. One. There were 43 people in that room. Now, she may have been the only one who had the gumption to say she was cool with it. There might have been a couple of more in the room, but overall, 43 people in that room, nobody was down with these ideas. Nobody, right? So give me your thoughts, give me your comments. I'm going to put this on the rest of my social media because it's really important. I'm reaching out to all my people saying, no, stop the madness. We need to make real estate more professional, not less professional. You need anything in the real estate world, reach out to me, Roy Caballo, broker, owner, Caballo's Realty Referrals. Interested in changing your brokerage to a brokerage that actually cares, to a brokerage that has some knowledge, that really thinks I should be taking care of you more than you should be taking care of me? Give me a shout, right? I'm here. I'm easy to find. Hope you guys have a great weekend. It is Friday. Stay out of trouble, folks. Talk to you later.